Yung isang bill na matagal ko pinasa ko ng 13th Congress at 14th Congress at hindi inaksyonan dun sa baba, sa House of Representatives, yun yung kasambahay bill. Na matagal ko ng sponsor, matagal ko ng dinefense, dalawang beses ko dinefense sa floor yun at pumasa sa ating Senado. Yung kasambahay bill, yan ay magbibigay ng mga social benefits sa lahat ng ating mga kasabay. Meaning, yung mga maids, yung mga drivers, yung mga cooks, yung mga yayas, etc. Ang mga amo magbibigay ng, ang magbabayad sa kanilang medical benefits. Dito sa Metro Manila, dapat hindi bumaba ng 4,000 pesos na kanilang sahod. At doon sa probinsya, mas bumaba. Sa ibang regions, mas bumaba. Pero dito sa Metro Manila, pag ito bumaba sa Metro Manila, bilang isang kasabay, kailangan hindi bababa ng 4,000 pesos yata a month yung inyong tanong. That is a pro-poor bill which did not take off because of the non-passage in the House of Representatives. And secondly, I was dreaming of putting up a hospital for all the dependents of our overseas Filipino workers.
Specialized? Sa lang?
Para lahat ng mga dependents ng OFWs, or mismo yung mga OFWs, magkakasakit, pwede sila pumunta sa hospital.
Sa Metro Manila?
Yung pinaplano ko nga sana, kung pwede, dun sa Veterans Hospital. Kasi lawak ng lupa dun sa Veterans. Kaya lang, hindi rin masyado, kasi marami rin mga objections sa Department of Health. Kasi pag gagamitan ng funds ng OWA, wala naman silang expertise gumawa kung magpapakapon ng hospital. Kailangan ko rin ng DOH na magpapakapon ng hospital.
I just have to refile also the unfinished bills I had in Congress before I left. Again, it's related to the OFWs. Para sa akin, yun yung pinaka-immediate dahil sila na yung bumubuhay ng bansa natin eh. So, we have to give them really something aside from just calling them bagong bayani. No? But the big concerns that they have really is education of their children. So, health benefits nila. So, I have this bill in Congress that needs to be refiled again. It's the free education, elementary, high school, and non-degree college for public and private schools for all dependents of OFWs, and then free hospitalization and medical services for dependents of OFWs again in public and private hospitals. And the third one really is an economic program for returning OFWs, because we cannot just really continue sending OFWs abroad, but we really have to use them now.
Yung urban land before, kasi pag pinag-usapan yung possible changes sa Constitution, na sabi dyan na kailangan yung dayuhan kasi ganun karapatan magkaroon ng lupa sa aking bayan. Pero marami tayong kababayan na hanggang ngayon wala lupa. At hanggang ngayon, hindi namin nakikita kung kailan sila magkakaroon lupa dito sa syudad. Ayun ang gusto kong talakayin.
Number one is the repeal of the expanded value-added tax law, the IVAT law. I don't believe that the IVAT is a fair and progressive form of taxation. It is a form of taxation that burdens even children, even those who have no jobs, even those who are earning so little from the economy. And number two, yung automatic appropriations law. We really have to work on that. These are my two...
So debt servicing.
Debt servicing, yes. First and foremost, it violates the principle in our Constitution that requires the biggest share of the budget to be allocated to education. Because in reality, the biggest share of the budget goes to debt servicing. That is not provided for by the Constitution. That violates in fact. If there must be some form of debt auditing and the selective repudiation of debts, foreign debts, which either went to the coffers of corrupt officials or which were not really, or which went to projects which did not benefit the people. Then the money that can be saved from from these non-payment of debts could be rechanneled to education, to health, to housing for urban people.
Ako, I'm for the abolition. I'm for the abolition. I think we can just leave into the congressmen and senators to identify the projects that they really would like to implement. But the releases should really be left to the agency concerned. At least the senators and congressmen can concentrate on lawmaking.
I am also for the abolition of court barrel for congressmen and for the executive. Kasi the president also has a court barrel. Number one, because the court barrel is a commonly known source of graft and corruption. You know, it's that part of the public funds where the politician, the DPWH, and the contractors have a heyday over. They try to squeeze out as much commission and therefore income from the court barrel, leaving only a small portion to be applied to the actual project. But I would like the court barrel funds to be redirected towards additional funding for local governments. Right now, I think the allocation for local government units is quite small. Most of especially the smaller municipalities and the smaller provinces, have only enough of their internal revenue allotment to fund the salaries and other overhead expenditures for the running of the local government unit. This is not enough.
If I tell you that I am against pork barrel, since I became senator, I've been receiving my pork barrel allocations as a senator. And we are, as legislators or as senators, we are only here to determine the projects nationwide, because a lot of mayors, governors, councilors, or even barangay captains come to our office and ask for projects. And that is the only way for us legislators to provide or to give them some projects in terms of our pork barrel. So I think kaya lang, we have to determine, and we have to determine it and to make sure that the funds goes to the local government units concerned. Kasi meron mga ibang pork barrel na nasasayang na kung saan ang pupunta. Pero ako, sinisiguro ko na yung mga humihingi sa mga mayors tungkol sa mga infrastructure projects nila, sinisiguro ko na doon mismo sa munisipyo nila napupunta yung kanilang yung allocation ko for their particular projects.
Nangyayari, this becomes an excuse for some politicians to pocket the money instead of allowing the money to flow down to the projects. The reality is this, as Jingo was saying, you have any number of local officials who come to you every day asking for projects. Now, until the practice is established, which will discourage all the local officials to come to legislators asking for projects. You have extreme difficulty, cutting out this practice. However, the more important thing to do is to make sure that kung ano yung appropriation for a project should go to the project. Utmost transparency. There should be standards of measuring performance